Hello you guys, and welcome to another episode of Home and Garden with Nick. We are now well into January, and I wanted to take the time to show you some of the beautiful Christmas gifts now that we've had time to take stock and everything's calmed down and all the madness has ended. Well, I say the madness has ended. You'll have to wait to hear Scooter's news later. It's super exciting. And today we're going to celebrate Scooter's news with some delicious Scottish Balmoral shortbread biscuits. So we're going to go out in a little while and we're going to get those ready in the kitchen. But first of all, I want to just show you some of the lovely gifts that I received for Christmas from Chris. So let's start. You remember me telling you about my beautiful figurines that I purchased from that favourite shop of mine in Dublin called Pattison and Yule? Well, I also had to purchase two as a gift from my sister. And so I just wanted to show you these. I will be using them for the display for the mantelpiece in the dining room next year, and I will get you to have a closer look at the whole scene together. But it was really, really beautiful this Christmas. I loved it, absolutely adored it. So this is a lady with a shopping bag full of presents. So she's been out shopping and she's got her clementines in her basket, and she's going to be singing some carols at the music stand. And she's got the most beautiful cloth, green velvet jacket and a beautiful tartan dress. To add to her, we have another lady, which is a seller, a carol singer seller, and she's selling baskets of Christmas baubles. So, the carolers' figurines, and this is called the Cries of London. Absolutely exquisite Victorian figurines that I fell in love with them. And so I changed my whole display that I've been doing for many years on my dining room fireplace to house these. So I hope you like them. And like I said, stay tuned till next Christmas to see them going on the mantelpiece. You don't want to hear about Christmas, I know you don't. Let me show you something else. Beautiful pheasant. Peggy bought for Scooter. And of course, we've named him Harold. He's exquisite. I think you'll agree. Again, another fine decoration for Christmas. Now, let's take a little sample of some of these beauties here. Here we have a beautiful elf. Isn't he just exquisite? I don't know where I'm going to find room for these decorations on the tree, so I think what's going to have to happen is some are going to have to leave. Some decorations are just going to have to leave the building to make room for these beauties. So we've got our elf. Then another really, really stunning beauty is this beautiful cobalt blue bauble with gold. And it's got little diamonds on. Another exquisite bauble. And we've hung some beautiful blue velvet for hanging. Another one, which I think is really, really clever, is a beautiful watch, pocket watch, Christmas decoration. Here we have an amazing rhinoceros. So I do have quite a lot of animals on my Christmas tree the last few years, and I do love animals, actually, all kinds of animals. So it's really nice. And here I've got a beautiful parrot. Although I'm not quite sure, is he a parrot, Chris, or a puffin, or what is he?
Something like that.
Chris today is about as much use as a chocolate teapot, I reckon, because I thought he would have known what it was. Anyway, he doesn't. Stunning acorn. Don't you think these are just going to look amazing?
Don't forget to mention where they came from, my favourite.
Yes, and I will mention, it's not sponsored, but I will mention the shop, although I hate mentioning it because you'll go and you'll buy everything that lady has and then you'll leave nothing for me. It's a shop in Muswell Hill in London called Sally Bourne Interiors, and she really does some exquisite Christmas decorations. And every year Chris pays a visit to get some unusual ones for me. This is just a little beautiful Murano glass teddy bear, which is stunning. And this one also is beautiful. A leaf. Again with some lovely green satin ribbon. And then I really do love these. They're very carnival-like. They're absolutely beautiful. Just the colours and the sparkle and everything about them I adore. There's a beautiful red Murano glass one here with some black ribbon. Isn't that stunning? My oh my. And then the heart of the ocean, Côte de la Mer, my favourite item from Titanic. And there you have it, folks, the heart of the ocean. And that will gracefully adorn my beautiful, fabulous Christmas tree. And then this is the hand, which again is really beautiful. Just a brass plate with the imprint of a hand. Really lovely. Oh, it's Marie Antoinette. Excuse me. Let them eat cake. And there we have another Venetian Murano glass bauble. Just, the detailing is just exquisite, just unbelievable, like nothing I've seen. And we have one more to show you. I may as well show you all sundry. Now, obviously the tree is down at this stage, so I won't be going hanging them, but I will hang them on the tree so they adorn the tree for next year. Okay. Also, Chris picked me up these beautiful turquoise candlesticks in glass because I really struggled. When I was doing one of the fireplaces upstairs, one of the mantle, I was dressing it with the, I don't know if you remember, I did the beautiful clown teddy bear team, which was for my niece staying. Went down a treat, by the way. We couldn't get her out of that room. Brilliant. Anybody who's got naughty children that wants to lock them away, do that theme in the bedroom and they'll stay there and you won't see them all over Christmas. I was short of candlesticks. Can you believe it? In a house like this, I didn't have any candlesticks that I wanted to put there. So I had to put the brass ones with the blue and white. But Chris managed to pick me up these beautiful glass turquoise ones, which are absolutely stunning. And I think they will look beautiful. So next year it gives me a little bit more freedom to do my, I'm loving this word now that everybody's using, mantelscape. It's either a tablescape, but mine are mantelscapes. So there you are. That's the delights that we had for Christmas. And one of the gifts I bought for Chris, just one, is this beautiful painting of the Sacred Heart, our Lord Jesus. And I think you'll agree it is probably my favorite painting in the house to date. Although I say that every time I buy a new painting. I also bought him another very big painting, but it is hanging on the wall, and I will show you that another time because I'm waiting to wire a picture light over and above so you can see it better. It's in quite a dark part of the hallway, so it would be a sin to show you right now. But I hope you'll agree that's beautiful in the most amazing frame. So now, I was going to sit and relax here in the library with the fire going and a nice cup of tea, but Peggy's coming for tea later, and so we must make the shortbread. So let's go to the kitchen now where we'll rustle up some lovely, delicious, very, very simple shortbread. Please don't get scared because it is just super easy, as you'll see. Okay, you guys, so now on to that fantastic Balmoral Estate shortbread. She has a neck to come back here and tell me about the best shortbread she's ever had in Balmoral. But my shortbread is what Queen Elizabeth had. So, let's make this shortbread. It's so easy, but don't tell her that. In a bowl, we've got 225 grams of room temperature softened butter. Salted, unsalted, really makes absolutely no difference because I'm going to add some salt anyway. So, to that, I'm going to add 225 grams of plain flour. You don't need to do anything with it, just throw it in the bowl. On top of that, I'm going to put in 110 grams of confectioner sugar, icing sugar. Straight in there, and then on top of that, I'm going to put 110 grams of cornflour. And this is what makes our shortbread really buttery, really soft, and really melt in the mouth, and not that crunchy shortbread that you sometimes get. And that's going in also. Then, my secret ingredient, just to freshen them up ever so slightly and give them a lovely little tang, is a little bit of lemon rind. So basically, a very small lemon, the rind of a very small lemon, or half of a big lemon. Just a grated rind, just in there, just to give it a little bit of scent, freshness. And then finally, a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. So that will go in there also. And then, my friends, you don't need any equipment. You need your hands and your fingers. So clean hands, clean fingers, and you want to get in there and you want to mix that all up until it comes to breadcrumbs, and then it will all form into a nice bowl. There is nothing else to be added to that bowl. Then we've got some cling wrap, which we're going to wrap it up and put it in the fridge to chill for 30 minutes. And then we've got a rolling pin. We've got a scone cutter, or as some people call it, a scone cutter. No such thing, it's a scone cutter. I'm going to use the fluted edge. And then I've got a little stamp with just a nice decoration. I was looking for one with the Scottish thistle, but I can't find one anywhere. If anybody's got any ideas of where I can get one, a stamp for the cookies with the Scottish thistle, please let me know in the comments below. Most importantly, a nice cup of tea to get everything going. Then your oven temperatures are 350 Fahrenheit, 160 fan assisted or gas mark 4, and they will go into the oven for about 20 minutes just until set. You don't really want them to colour too much. You want to keep them nice and pale. That's the way shortbread should look. So I'm going to get on now with sticking my hands in here, and we're going to get all of this mixed together. So it'll take a few minutes, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it all comes together. Okay, so I'm just working this in. I've been at it for about 5 minutes. I know it seems like it's forever, but actually, trust me, if you put it into the food processor, yes, it's done instantly, but I think you build up the gluten in the flour and you don't get such a nice, soft, crumbly, buttery texture for the cookie. So, this is coming together now. I'm just going to start pressing it to get it to form a ball. And then once it's in a ball, we're going to pop it into the cling film and into the fridge for 30 minutes to help us to be able to roll it out. So come over closer, Chris, and have a look inside the bowl so that you can show everybody how it's coming together now into a bowl. And that's it. So altogether, it took approximately 5 minutes to get it to this stage. So it's not difficult at all. Anyway, it's good exercise for the new year. Get yourself in shape, build up your muscles like mine. Isn't that right, Scooter? Okay, so that's come to a nice smooth ball now. I'm going to wrap it in cling film and pop that into the fridge for 30 minutes to set and chill. And then I'll come back to that, I'll roll it out, I'll pop it onto the trays, and we'll prick it with a fork and we'll pop it into the oven. So, pastry's out of the fridge, and I've literally just put a very, very small amount of flour because you don't want to change the texture of the shortbread. And roll it out to about the size of a £1 coin in thickness. And then you want to get your cutter and you want to literally pop down. And then once it's out, you want to pop it onto your baking tray. So we shall carry on cutting, and then we'll see how many of them we have in the end. So you don't want them too thin. You want them to have a little bit of depth to them so that you get that nice shortbready, crumbly, melt in the mouth texture. Now the pastry is, once it comes out of the fridge, it is quite stiff to roll, so you just bear with it, and just, it will maybe break slightly, but you just pop it back together and carry on rolling. Okay, so your oven should be on warming at this stage, preheating, and I'm just gathering up the rest of the pastry, and I'm just rolling it back out again, and I'm going to cut out some more. And like I said, you don't need to worry too much. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle or anything. You just want to get all of your biscuits cut out. And finally, a nice thick fat one for Peggy. Oops, I didn't say that. There we are. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 biscuits out of this mixture. I'm sure you could have got 24 if you wanted to be even about it. But anyway, we're not going to worry about that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our biscuits just to put a nice design on them. Okay. And just press down with your stamper, whatever stamper you've got. And if you don't have a stamper, you don't need to worry, because traditionally shortbread biscuits only had the holes of the fork. But I think this is quite nice. Like I said, I'd love to get my hands on a nice thistle. So if anybody does know where I could get one, or anybody has one lying around the place that they don't use, then let me know. I'm more than happy to pay the postage to get it here. Okay, so it's the final bit before they go into the oven. You just get your fork and you just prick your holes in your shortbread. And you do this so that it allows the heat in to the base of the shortbread. Don't worry about the holes, because the holes won't be seen, because once they come out of the oven, we're going to sprinkle them with some lovely sugar, as traditionally that's what shortbread had done. So you just literally prick right down through the pastry, and I'm just doing 4 into each to keep them even, so there's uniformity there. Okay guys, so 20 minutes is up and our biscuits are ready. So out of the oven, and just sit them on the cooling rack for a moment. And what we're going to do now is we're going to sprinkle them generously with some lovely caster sugar or just normal sugar. Give them a nice generous coating of sugar. And you can see they've just taken on a very, very light golden colour. Give them a good generous coating of sugar. Of course, if you don't want to put so much sugar, then you don't need to. Now, come join me for a delicious cup of tea with one of the beautiful, beautiful Balmoral Scottish shortbread, and just and you just get that buttery goodness, ever so slight fragrance of lemon zest. Really short and crumbly, because the cornflour, or cornstarch as they call it in the States, is what defines this shortbread biscuit. So Peggy, put that in your pipe and smoke it. I'm just going to finish this with my cup of tea, and then Scooter's going to reveal his news for everyone. Come join me for one of these fabulous biscuits. If you never make anything again, please do make these. Sorry, Chris, I didn't make you a cup of tea. So, ladies and gentlemen, Scooter's news is as follows. Would you believe, on his trip to Balmoral with Peggy, he was knighted by the none and only Queen Camilla. He was a little bit upset when he got back that it wasn't Queen Elizabeth who managed to do the anointing, but however, he was quite happy with Queen Camilla. So, Scooter now has initials, OBE Scooter Michael McGrath, and here are just some of his medals that he received from Queen Camilla. And this one is in relation to his wonderful work that he does for the charity Pieta House and all that money he raises for charity. So we are rewarding him with a lovely biscuit, shortbread biscuit. The other one is of Queen Elizabeth herself, and that is basically, I have to say this very quietly, that is basically for him introducing what we would call riffraff into the aristocracy, for bringing Peggy into the world of royalty. Queen Elizabeth strongly admires him. Even though there was a marriage set up between him and Maggie, who was of royal blood, Scooter decided against it, and so he has received a medal for that. And then he has also received one for bravery. To make a long story short, Scooter's original mummy actually was a victim of suicide, and that's why he chose that charity. And so for his bravery of getting through her suicide, he has a medal for bravery. So all of these medals will now adorn Scooter's beautiful tweed coat. And he is sitting here in all his glory and element, wishing everyone a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful 2025, and peace, joy, and happiness to everyone. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we'll see you all very soon for another video. But for now, my friends, thanks for watching. And from Scooter, Nikolai and Chris, and Peggy, of course, bye-bye. Mwah. You're such a brave, good boy. Yes, and look at what you've achieved. Aren't you amazing? Yes.